Wow. Well, hey, there is a glare on my screen or something here. There we go. That's much better. Hey guys, how's my hair look? My name's Ron White. I am so happy that all of you are here. I know I sent out a ton of emails. I'm gonna try to get this the right way. I know it's looks a little weird here. Uh, so this is our Bible memory class. I am very excited about this. This background, this setup isn't the best here. One second. Uh, I'm not going to get my hair right, so let's do it this way. Welcome to our Bible memory class. I'm happy that you're here. My name's Ron White. I will be your instructor, I guess you could say, but more, I just hope you see me as a friend. I am going to teach a Bible memory class today, and I'm going to give you a little bit of history on this because it's worth giving you a little bit of an introduction. By the way, if y'all can see me live and everything, could you just like put yes in the comment box or something like that so I can know that I'm not the world's most technology savvy guy. Okay, all right. By the way, there we go. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that feedback there. It's always a crazy thing. Look at all those yeses. I love that. Wow, man, you guys are awesome. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on this Bible memory idea that I have. So look at all these yeses. By the way, I saw somebody said Shabbat Shalom earlier. I believe that was Len. For those of you who don't know, that is something you say on the Sabbath to say have a happy Sabbath or that kind of thing. Was that Carol that said that? So I took a Hebrew class about 20 years ago, 30 years ago with my dad, and I learned how to say Shabbat Shalom Ani Moreh. Hello, students. Or Shabbat Shalom is the Sabbath, but Ani Moreh is I am the teacher. So let me give you a little bit of background on this Bible memory because I think it's worth mentioning. And I want to say this. I know that Bible memory is so important to so many people. You want to be able to quote Bible verses word for word. You want to be able to know, man, where was the story of John the Baptist? Where was the story of feeding the 5,000? Where was the story of when Abraham was tested? Where's the story of the 10 Commandments? And that's really useful to know. It's useful to know for a couple reasons. Number one, I mean, sure, you can always look it up, especially in this day and age, but I think there's something special about knowing where things are in the Bible. And it's, writing it on the tablet to your heart, if you want to put it that way. I guess it was about 1993. I set out a goal to memorize the book of Proverbs, and I memorized the first 7 chapters word for word. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for attaining wisdom and discipline, for acquiring words of insight. I memorized the first 7 chapters word for word, and that was really my first introduction to Bible memory. And I'm using a system, and I'm going to teach you a system today that I learned 33 years ago in 1991. And I learned this system not for Bible memory. I learned this system for memory in general, because to teach to corporations, really. A lot of you have seen me speak at corporations, and I'll talk about how to remember names and faces, how to give speeches without notes, how to remember what you read, how to learn anything faster, how to learn your sales presentations. So that was really why I learned memory training. But Bible memory was also important to me. So I thought, well, hey, can I apply this to Bible memory? Turns out you can. And I'm hesitating here a little bit. If you see me hesitating, I got something on my mind, and I'm just going to share with you what's on my mind because I'm just going to share with you on my mind because if you know me, you probably see I'm stumbling around a little bit right here, and I'll share with you what's on my mind. I'll just be real candid. So 2 years ago to the day, today's August the 10th, 2 years ago to this day, on the other side of this green screen, about 20 feet, I found my mom, and she was passed away. 2 years ago today, exactly today, almost whatever. And Bible memory and scripture and the Bible was so important to her. and so important. And when I scheduled this Bible memory training, I had no idea. I didn't even put it together that this was the day. And then when I scheduled this a couple days ago, just on a whim, I'm like, oh, hey, I'll do it on Saturday, August the 10th. And then as soon as I hit schedule it, August 10th popped up. That's the day, and I was like, whoa. I feel like, in a way, my mom, and here's her driver's license. I don't want to put too much on the internet, but here's her driver's license. And you can't, that's not too much. Here's her driver's license. So she's here with us today because I know this would be important to her. So now that I got that out of the way, there are two types of Bible memory. And the first type of Bible memory is where you know a location of a story. Exodus chapter 20, 10 Commandments, story of Babel, it's here. Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 5. That's one type of Bible memory. The second type of Bible memory is a little bit more advanced, but it's where you know something word for word, where you could quote the 23rd Psalms word for word. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Word for word. I'm going to share with you how to do both today. I'm going to share with you how to memorize the location of a story, but also how to memorize something word for word. Let's start with a little fun thing here. We've all know what the 10 Commandments are, right? We all know what the 10 Commandments are, but how many of us have them memorized where we could say them all forwards and backwards? I'm going to see if I can teach us how to memorize the 10 Commandments in less than 90 seconds here. Here, let's play a little game here. This is a memory warm-up. This is a memory warm-up. This isn't the bulk of the training, but here's a little warm-up. All right. The first commandment, put your finger out like this. There is one God. There is one God. So that's number one. The second commandment, you shall now not bow down to any other gods. You shall not bow down to any other gods. Third commandment. This looks like an M to me. This looks like an M. The word name has an M in it. You shall not take the name of the Lord in vain. Number one, there is one God. Number two, you shall not bow down. You shall not bow down. Number three, do not take the name of the Lord in vain. Commandment number 4, protect the Sabbath and keep it holy. Number 4, protect the Sabbath and keep it holy. Commandment number 5. Yes, sir. Honor your father and your mother. Yes, sir. Honor your father and your mother. Number 1, there is one God. Number 2, you shall not bow down. You shall not bow down to other gods. Number 3, this looks like an M. Do not take and there's an M in the word name. Do not take the name of the Lord in vain. Number 4, protect the Sabbath. Number 5, yes, sir, honor your father and your mother. Commandment number 6, thou shalt not kill. Wow. Commandment number 7. Commandment number 7. There are 2 people in a marriage, not 5. Don't commit adultery. There are 2 people in a marriage, not 5. Don't commit adultery. Commandment number 8. Commandment number 8. In some countries, they will cut off your thumbs if you steal. Do not steal. Do not steal. Commandment number 9. Commandment number 9. 4 is not 5. Don't lie. 4 is not 5. Don't lie. Commandment number 9. 4 is not 5. Don't lie. And commandment number 10, you got 10 fingers. Don't covet. Don't want what your neighbor has. Don't covet. Don't covet. We just memorized the 10 commandments like that with a little simple memory trick. Let's review. Number 1, there is one God. Number 2, you shall not bow down. You shall not bow down. Number 3, it looks like an M. An M. There's an M in the word name. Do not take the name of the Lord in vain. Number 4, protect the Sabbath. Rest on the Sabbath. 5, yes, sir, honor your father and your mother. Commandment number 6, thou shalt not kill. Commandment number 7, there are 2 people in a marriage, not 5. Don't commit adultery. Commandment number 8, they cut off your thumbs if you steal, so don't steal. Commandment number 9, 4 is not 5. Don't lie. 4 is not 5. Don't lie. 4 is not 5. Don't lie. And commandment number 10, you shall not covet. Don't want what your neighbor has. By the way, I'm doing this on Facebook and YouTube, and I just realized when I'm doing it on YouTube, you can see both my hands, but on Facebook you couldn't. So I apologize for that. For those of you on Facebook. So let's just go through it real quick for those who are watching on Facebook. Number 1, you have one God. Number 2, you shall not bow down. Number 3, looks like an M. There's an M in name. Don't take the name of the Lord in vain. Number 4, protect the Sabbath. Commandment number 5. Yes, sir. Honor your father and your mother. 6, thou shalt not steal. 7, 2 in a marriage, not 5. 4, they cut off your thumbs. Don't steal. 4 is not 5. Don't lie. 4 is not 5. And 10, don't covet. So that was for you people on Facebook. So, guys, this is just a little simple way to make it fun. I'm gonna share with you this. So I have done some massive memory projects. I memorized everybody who died in the war in Afghanistan from the United States military. It's 2,400 people, ranked first name, last name. It's 7,000 words. I did another project where I memorized the entire United States Constitution word for word. It's 4,543 words. And here's something that was very crucial for me, and I want to share it with you. When you have a massive memory project, such as scripture memory or Bible memory, what happens oftentimes is you get overwhelmed with it. You get overwhelmed and I'm not going to do anything because I'm overwhelmed. If I would have told myself I have to memorize 4,500 words in 4 weeks, I would have gotten overwhelmed. I didn't. I always break stuff down into 10% at a time, and I just focus on that 10%. I created a Bible memory program called 1189 Bible Memory, where you memorize what's in all 1,189 chapters of the Bible. For example, Exodus chapter 20 is the 10 Commandments, but there are 1,189 chapters. That's one chapter. Memorizing that one chapter is not difficult. Memorizing all 1,189 is difficult if you look at the big project. So in scripture memory, if you can break it down and just concentrate on a few every day or a few every week, it becomes extraordinarily simple. As long as you're not overwhelming yourself with your ultimate goal. So the first thing that I'm going to suggest to you for Bible memory is just focus on a few a week. Just focus on a few a week and keep it simple. Don't focus on your overall goal. The second thing that I'm going to encourage you is you need to learn to think in pictures. Whatever you want to remember, it has to be a picture. So kind of like we just now did, if I would have said the 6th commandment is don't kill, that's good. I mean, kind of, but that's not a memory trick. But if you turned it into a picture, whatever you want to remember has to be a picture. If you turn that into a picture, don't kill is 6, and you go like that, boom, it becomes a picture. Your mind remembers pictures. That's why you can remember. You remember. How many of you in here? Type it in the chat box if this has ever happened to you. If you have ever met somebody and 6 weeks later you see them and you remember their face, but you don't remember their name, type yes in the chat box. Have you ever met somebody and you remember their face, but you don't remember their name? Rhonda Parker says yes. John Fawcett says yes. Byron Tippett says yes. Kay Jordan. Oh, Kay Jordan. Austin Staggs is her hero son. There's Jared. There is Jared. Mark Meadows is here. Jared is here. I'm going to tell you a little. Jared is memorized. Jared knows what's in the first 500 chapters of the Bible. He and I worked together for several months, and he did all the work. I just provided the structure, but Jared memorized what he knows what's in the first. You could ask Jared what's in Numbers chapter 7, and he could tell you. And I'm not going to put him on the spot right now, but he could. I worked with him, and he can do it. Rex Turner says yes. Here's the thing. This is why you remember. The reason you remember faces, but you don't remember names, is you saw the face. You never saw the name. The mind remembers what it sees. You saw the face. You never saw the name. So if you can learn to see Bible verses, it's going to help you so much more. There was a memory system, and it was developed about 2,500 years ago by a man named Simonides in Greece. Simonides developed a technique known as the memory palace, or the mind palace. I'm gonna share with you what the mind palace is, but I want to just tell you a few stories here and see if you can remember these stories. I want you to imagine the 10 Commandments. Imagine the 10 Commandments, not my fingers, not what we just did here, but I want you to imagine the 10 Commandments, and there's 2 tablets. And one of the tablets, you get an axe, and you stab that axe in the 10 Commandments. The other tablet, you shoot with a 20 gauge shotgun. Now, we would never do that. That's very sacrilegious and disrespectful, but we're creating a picture to help us remember. So I want you to see the 10 Commandments, the 2 tablets in your brain. Just imagine them. Create this picture in your brain. 2 tablets. In one tablet, I want you to see an axe and boom, chopping it in half. And in the next tablet, I want you to see a shotgun. Boom, you're shooting it. This is how I remember that the 10 Commandments story is in Exodus chapter 20. For Exodus, I imagine an axe. And for chapter 20, I imagine a shotgun because there's a 20 gauge shotgun. So Exodus chapter 20 is a shotgun. So to remember Bible verses, you're going to need pictures for them. I'm going to go through the first 10 numbers here, and we're going to create a picture for all the first 10 numbers. And just bear with me here for a second. This will make sense in a second. My picture for the number 1 is a pencil. Why would number 1 be a pencil? Type it in the chat box. Why do you think 1 could be a pencil or a pen? Why do you think 1 could be a pencil or a pen? Type it in the chat box. What do you think? Why is 1 a pencil or a pen? It looks like a number 1. The shape looks like a number 1. So for me, 1 is a pencil. When I think of number 1, I no longer think of 1. I think of a pencil. Number 2 is a duck. Why could a duck be representative of number 2? Why could a duck be number 2? Type it in the chat box. Why could a duck be number 2? It looks like a duck, look at this. A duck's neck is kind of shaped like a number 2. And I know what you're thinking, Ron, how's this going to help me with Bible memory? Hey, guys, here's what we're going to do. It's 11:18 right now. In the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're going to have memorized 5 to 10 Bible stories. So bear with me here for a second. A duck's neck is number 2. Number 3, a 3 is a pyramid. Why could 3 be a pyramid? 3 is a pyramid. Why could 3 be a pyramid? Because a triangle has 3 sides. Number 4 is a box. Why is 4 a box? Because there's 4 sides on a box. 5 is a star. Why is 5 a star? 5 points on a star. 5-star restaurant, 5-star hotel. 6 is a gun, a 6-shooter. 6 is a gun. Boom, boom, boom. 6 is a gun. 7, let's use dice. Dice. Opposite sides of dice always add up to 7. If there's a 2 on top, there's a 5 on bottom. If there's a 1 on top, there's a 6 on bottom. Opposite sides of dice always add up to 7. Number 8, let's use a snowman because it's shaped like a number 8. 8 is a snowman. It's shaped like a number 8. 9 is let's use a balloon for number 9 because there's the balloon has a circle and then the string going down. It kind of looks like a number 9. And 10 for number 10, let's use a fork and a plate. Here's your fork and here's your plate. It looks like a number 10. 10 is a fork and a plate. Let's just do a couple more here. 11, I want you to make it a goalpost. 11 is a goalpost. And 17 is a magazine, like a magazine that you read. So real quickly, I'm going to go through these. 1 is a pencil. It looks like a pencil. 2 is a duck. The shape looks like a duck's neck. The duck's neck goes like that. Number 2. Number 3 is a pyramid or a triangle because of 3 sides. 4 is a box. 5 is a star, 5-star restaurant, 5-star hotel. 6 is a gun, 6-shooter. 7 is dice. Opposite sides of dice always equal 7. Number 8 is a snowman. A snowman. It kind of looks like a number 8. Number 9 is a balloon. Again, it looks like a balloon. And 10 is a fork and a plate. We also did number 11, which is goalpost, and 17 magazine, and we'll leave it there at that. Now you have pictures for numbers. Now, guys, let's take this to the next level. This is what I want you to do. Look around the room. Look around the room that you're in, and I want you to look over at the doorway. Imagine you are standing in that doorway right now. Imagine you're standing in that doorway, and I want you to look to your immediate left. So you're standing in the doorway. I want you to look to your immediate left. What is the first big piece of furniture that you see right there? If I was standing in the doorway, which is on the other side of this green screen, my first big piece of furniture is not really a piece of furniture. It's a window. So for me, number 1 is window. You label what's number 1 in your room. Don't walk over to the door. Just imagine you're over there. Imagine you're there. You look to your left. What is right there? For me, it's a window. For you, is it a desk, a bed, a TV, a dresser, a stove, a microwave, a bookshelf, a computer, a table, a refrigerator? What is it? After you have number 1 labeled, so Faith put it's a table. Very good. Now we go to the next one. Let's go around the room. We're going to pick 5 in this room. Number 1, what is it? Now go to number 2. Whatever number 2, for me, it's like a refrigerator right here. So 2 is a refrigerator. 1, 2, go all the way around the room and pick 5. So I have got a window or a refrigerator. 3 is a table. 4 is a TV, and 5 is a chair for me. You do the same thing in your room. Look around the room, start in the doorway, go around clock. This is huge, guys. This is huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 pieces of furniture. After you have done that, do not get out of your seats. Don't go anywhere, but imagine you walk into the next room. My next room is right there. If I was standing in the doorway of that next room and I turned to the immediate left, number 6 is a cabinet for me. Number 7 is a sink. Number 8 is a toilet. Number 9 is a shower. And number 10 is a closet. You do the same thing. I want you to pick 5 in this room and then 5 in that room. Don't get out of your seat, though. Just look over there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can see that room over there. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If this is easy, if this is making sense, and if you're able to do this, number 10 pieces of furniture in your house, type yes in the chat box. Type yes in the chat box if you're able to do this right now, just so I know that you're following me. Is this making sense? Everybody got 10? So Byron says yes. Philip says yes. Toby says yes. Chuck. All right, Christina, good job. This is what's called the mind palace or the memory palace. This is where we're going to store data in our mental file cabinet. So I'm going to give you now pictures that I want you to see. And by the way, this is very introductory to Bible memory, but I want to give you pictures that I want you to see. On that first piece of furniture over there, number 1, I want you to look over there at that piece of furniture, and I want you to see, let's see, I want you to see John Wayne. John Wayne. John Wayne. Or what's a more famous? I'm looking here. What's a more famous John for you guys? Some of you may not know John Wayne. Maybe John Cena, a famous John Wayne. Over there, I want you to see John Wayne and Lazarus. Lazarus is over there. Lazarus, and Lazarus is dead. And all of a sudden, John Wayne kicks a football and it goes through the goalpost. Look over there at number 1. The John Wayne kicks a football through the goalpost. Whoa! See that image over there. Now, instead of it being 3 points and John Wayne winning the Super Bowl, Lazarus rises up and he comes back from the dead. John Wayne, 11, we said goalpost was 11. John chapter 11 is Lazarus raised from the dead. Let's go and look at piece of furniture number 2 now. On piece of furniture number 2, I want you to see somebody sleeping, somebody catching some Z's. Somebody's Z's. They're sleeping. And as they're sleeping, the temple is being built around them. They're constructing the temple. Look at that piece of furniture. They are sleeping, and the temple is being built around them. The Jewish temple, the Israelites' temple is being built around them, and they're sleeping. And you got to wake them up, and you don't know how to wake them up. So you say, you know what? I'm going to wake them up by shooting this gun. Number 6 is a gun, right? Pop, 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 pop. And then, woo, they wake up. Look over there on that piece of furniture. You have to see this You have to see this picture on that furniture. So you look over there, they're sleeping, you wake them up, pop, 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 and the temple's being built. Ezra, Z's, catch Ezra, chapter 6. Earlier we said a gun was 6. Ezra chapter 6 is where the temple is being built. Go back and review number 1. John chapter 11, John Wayne kicking a field goal, is Lazarus being raised from the dead. The next one, Ezra chapter 6, is the temple being constructed. The next one, on piece of furniture number 3, I want you to see first, on piece of furniture number 3, I want you to see a mule. I want you to see a mule, like you're riding a mule, but you're not riding a mule. David, from David and Goliath. David is riding a mule on piece of furniture number 3. And as David rides this mule, he's reading a magazine. David riding a mule. You know what? Let's not make David reading a magazine. Let's make Goliath reading a magazine. So on piece of furniture number 3, I want you to see the story of David and Goliath. I want you to see the story of David and Goliath on piece of furniture number 3. And David is riding in on a mule, and Goliath is reading a magazine. What did we say magazine represented? It represented the number 17 magazine. So the story of David and Goliath, the mule, Samuel, is in 1 Samuel chapter 17. The story of David and Goliath is in 1 Samuel chapter 17. On piece of furniture number 3, you see a mule walking in, and David is riding it. Goliath is reading a magazine. David and Goliath is the story, 1 Samuel chapter 17. Go back and look at 1. Over there, you have John chapter 11, Lazarus raised from the dead. Ezra chapter 6, the temple being constructed. 1 Samuel 17, David and Goliath. We're going to do several more here. And I want you to memorize 10 Bible stories. But I want you to see where I'm going with this. I want you to see what I'm doing right here. I'm taking a location in the Bible. Genesis, a pair of jeans. Exodus, an axe. Luke Skywalker. And I'm turning it into a picture. Then I'm taking the number of the chapter and I'm turning that into a picture. And then we take those pictures and we imagine them on a location where the story is. So in this instance, it's David and Goliath. And guys, you have to look at that piece of furniture. So if I'm looking over there at my TV, I'm telling myself, oh my gosh, I see David, I see Goliath on the screen, and I got a slingshot, and I'm slinging that slingshot around, and I'm hitting the TV, and It's smashing. And David rode in on a mule, and Goliath was reading a magazine. So I incorporate that into the picture. And you attach that picture to a location. Now, why is it important you attach it to a location? You don't have to. To be honest with you, you don't have to. Earlier, we didn't. When I started off today, I said, I want you to imagine the 10 Commandments. An axe for Exodus, and 20 was chapter 20. You still probably remember that Exodus 20 gauge shotgun, Exodus chapter 20. We didn't actually attach that to a piece of furniture. And so you don't have to. What is the benefit to attaching it to a piece of furniture? By the way, guys, some of you, I hope all y'all stay, continue with me here for a while. But in the description of this video, I have a Bible memory club that I'm going to be starting, and it's going to be every month on Monday. I'm going to email you out a Bible story like we're doing right here, plus a Bible verse. And I'm probably going to do 2 or 3, and I'm going to email them out on Monday with how to memorize them. And then and then you'll have all week to memorize them, which you should be able to do it in like 20 minutes. And then on Friday, I'm going to send you out a test. I'm going to quiz you on it to hold you accountable. Because the problem with Bible memory is a lot of people you're not being held accountable, so you're not doing it. So it's a $20 a month thing, $19.99. I've put the link in the description of the YouTube video, but the link is there in the description. So if you wanted to look at that, or don't do it right now when we're memorizing, but I just want to let you know I have a $19 Bible memory club, in the link is in the description of this YouTube. So let's go back over here. John chapter 11, Lazarus raised from the dead. Ezra chapter 6, the temple being constructed. 1 Samuel chapter 17, David and Goliath. I want you to look at that number 4 piece of furniture over there. Look at the number 4 piece of furniture, and I want you to see an ape, an ape, an ape, and it's eating ham. Look over there at that piece of furniture. There's an ape eating ham for Abraham. An ape eating ham right there on that piece of furniture. Abraham. And this ape is wearing a pair of blue jeans. So over there is an ape eating ham, and he is wearing blue jeans. Abraham, blue jeans for Genesis. Imagine this ape is sitting at a desk and he is taking a test. He's sitting at a desk and he's taking a test. Abraham, ape eating ham, being tested. What was he wearing? Blue jeans. Genesis. Now we need to get a picture for the number 22. 2-2. Hey, there's some ballerinas all around him wearing tutus. Look at that picture. An ape eating ham, Abraham. He's wearing blue jeans, Genesis. Oh my gosh, that ape is taking a test. Abraham being tested, Genesis 22, 2-2. Let's do one more in this room. But somebody just getting into the long-term memory. Here's the thing. If you want to put something in your long-term memory, you have to review. Review is the key to the long-term memory. That's why this Mind Palace system here is so good. Because today, when you're driving with your family, when you're driving with your kids, you're driving to work or whatever, you can be driving and you can just review this room in your brain. And you can think over there, okay, John chapter 11, that was Lazarus, and you're driving in your car. Ezra chapter 6, that's the temple being constructed. 1 Samuel, 1 mule, David and Goliath. Goliath was reading a magazine. You can review as you drive and as you go, and that is the benefit to this Mind Palace system. So here's what I'm saying. If you did not use this room method, if you just turned Bible verses into a picture, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. However, how are you going to review? How are you going to drive in your car and review? It's really difficult because you don't know. You can't even. You don't know if you're skipping something. But if you have it all tied to pieces of furniture, you can review whenever, and you're not going to skip anything. And if you do get to a point where you're like, I can't remember what was on number 4. I can't remember what was on the TV. Well, that's good. Then you can go home and look through it and figure out which one you left off. But if you never attached them to furniture in the first place, you're not going to know which ones you're leaving out. So this is why attaching it to furniture is such a great tool. Number 5, look over there at number 5. On number 5 in this room, I want you to see John Wayne holding a little baby. On number 5, John Wayne holding a little baby. And behind him is the pyramids. Behind him is the pyramids. Look over there. John Wayne is holding a baby. For me, it's a chair. I got John Wayne sitting in a chair rocking a baby. And behind him on the chair is a pyramid. What did we say a pyramid is? 3, chapter 3. What did we say John represents? The book of John. John chapter 3, Jesus says you must be born again. That's when he was talking to Nicodemus. You must be born again like a baby. Born again, John chapter 3. Let's review all 5 in this room. Over here, type it in the chat box. What did we have on piece of furniture number 1? Well, I'm going to tell you John chapter 11. You just type in the story. What was John chapter 11? What's John chapter 11? Booyah, there you go. Lazarus. John's got it. Gary's got it. Tim's got it. Good job, Rhonda. Number 2, what happened in Ezra chapter 6? What happened in Ezra chapter 6? The temple was being constructed. There you go, Byron and Chuck and Jonathan. Good job, Tim and Jared. Jared knows all of this. Jared's a superstar. What happened in 1 Samuel chapter 17? 1 Samuel 17. What happened in 1 Samuel chapter 17? There you go, Jonathan David. And there's a Bible name for you. Very good, Byron and Philip and Tim, David and Goliath. Chuck, David and Goliath. What happened on the next one? Number 4. What was the story we put on piece of furniture number 4? What was the story that we put on piece of furniture number 4? Abraham was being tested, and he was wearing blue jeans and tutus, Genesis chapter 22. And what happened in John chapter 9? What happened in John chapter 9? John chapter 3. John chapter 3. Yeah, sorry about that. John chapter 3. Guys, so this is how you memorize. Now you should be able with your kids or your family, you're driving in the car, you should be able to memorize 5. Let's go back and review. The 7th commandment. What is the 7th commandment? What is commandment number 7? What is commandment number 7? Type it in the chat box. What's commandment number 7? There you go. There are 2 people. There you go. There you go. What was commandment number 4? What's commandment number 4 on the 10 commandments? What's commandment number 4? What's the commandment number 4 on the 10 commandments? Protect the Sabbath and keep it holy. What is the 8th commandment? What is the 8th commandment? What is the 8th commandment? Don't steal. They're going to cut off your thumbs. Don't steal. They're going to cut off your thumbs. What is the 2nd commandment? What's the 2nd commandment? What's the 2nd commandment? There you go. Don't bow down. Don't bow down. Don't bow down. So, guys, here's the deal. So far, what we've done is I have taught you the 10 commandments using this silly little finger thing. And I've taught you the location of 5 Bible stories. There is one other type of Bible memory that I know you guys are probably interested in. And I've saved it for the last part of this, the second part of this, because it's the most advanced. It's kind of the most involved. And this is where you memorize scripture word for word. So I would say to you, there's two types of Bible memory. There's the type of Bible memory where you know the location of a story. John chapter 9, Genesis chapter 22. That's type one. The second type of Bible memory is where you memorize something word for word. For example, Psalms chapter 1, blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly. And I've memorized lots of verses like that, word for word. And this is the most involved, but can be done, and it's also the most simple. I'm going to teach us how to do word for word memory. And by the way, I took the 23rd Psalms, and this is kind of a famous one anyways. So some of you may already know it, but that's okay. I just thought it was a good one. And whatever version of the Bible you want to use is okay. NIV, King James Version, whatever. Typically, when I do Bible memory word for word, I do the NIV because it's easier for me to understand. But in this case, I'm going to use the King James Version. And the reason is, I think it sounds cooler for the 23rd Psalms. You know the 23rd Psalms. You've heard parts of it, I should say. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. Let's memorize this word for word using the King James Version, just because I think it's the way most of us have heard it. But keep it in mind, always, I don't normally use King James Version because it's too Shakespearean for me and too difficult. So you have this room right here mapped out with the locations of Bible stories. You have one room over there that you still have 5 pieces of furniture numbered, but you don't have anything on them. This room that we're in was memorizing the location of Bible stories. The other room, we're going to do word for word Bible memory. Word for word Bible memory follows the same principle. The first thing that you do is you read through what you want to remember. So I'm just going to read it here. The first key to Bible memory, when you want to remember something, just read it through. Cicero lived about 2,000 years ago. Cicero was a Roman statesman, a Roman politician, but he was also a philosopher and a writer. He actually taught memory training, believe it or not. Cicero wrote that if you want to memorize something word for word, step number 1 is to read it and get it in your natural memory. So what this means is when I memorized the United States Constitution, I read it first. Didn't try to memorize it. I just read it to get it in my natural memory. Now, if I wanted to memorize Matthew chapter 5, the Sermon on the Mount, I might not have to read the entire Sermon on the Mount, but I would definitely need to read like the first 10 chapters once or twice, or not the first 10 chapters, the first 10 verses just to get it in my mind. And then I'd memorize those. Then I'd read the next 10, get those in my mind. So let me read to you Psalms 23. I'm just going to read it because that's the first step to memory. Read it and get it in your natural memory. Don't just start memorizing it. Step 1 is to read it. So let me read it. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me. Let's stop right there. There are 6 verses, but let's just focus on the first 4. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I want you to look at that first piece of furniture in that other room. You probably can't even see it because you're not in that room, but you know what it looks like. I know what my cabinet in that room looks like. On that piece of furniture, I want you to see a shepherd boy, a shepherd. And he has got the biggest smile on his face. Why does he have a big smile? Because he has everything he wants. He lacks nothing. Look at that piece of furniture. See the image of a shepherd with a huge smile on their face. See the image, but say the words. That's big. That's big. That's big. See the image of a shepherd and smiling, but don't say shepherd and smiling. Say the words of the verse. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. You look at the pictures, but you say the word. And if you say the words, your mind starts filling in the gaps. It's the these and the eyes and all the other stuff. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Go look at the next piece of furniture. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. I want you to see a green pasture right there. And it's just totally green, and you lie down in it. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. Go back and say number one. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. Let's go to the next piece of furniture now. And I want you to see a creek, a water, but it's not rushing water. It's just still water. It's not moving. It's right there on that piece of furniture. I want you to imagine you scoop up some water, and it's so refreshing. He leadeth me beside the still waters. If you need to pick create a picture for the word lead, when I say the word lead, what do you think of? I like baseball, so I think of a baseball hitting the water. We just took the lead, but you might think of something else. See the picture, lead, and water. See the still waters. I see a baseball hitting the water. We just took the lead. See the picture, but say the phrase. He leadeth me beside the still waters. You might just see Jesus leading you into the still waters. That's probably even better. So go back to the first one. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures on number 2. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Let's go to number 4 now. I want you to see you walk into a store. You walk into the doorway of a store. You walk into the doorway of a store, and it's a store, and your soul just jumps out of you whenever you walk in the room. He restoreth my soul. Look at that piece of furniture. He restoreth my soul. He restoreth my soul. Now let's go to the next piece of furniture. This is going to be the last one. He leadeth me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. He leadeth me in paths of righteousness. You know, did you ever see those pictures on Instagram a while back where it always had a girl and she was like this, and she was like pulling her boyfriend's hand, pulling her boyfriend's hand along, or her husband or whatever along with her? Maybe that's the picture you have for lead. Maybe it's Jesus reaching out to you, and he's leading you. So on piece of furniture number 5 there, he's leading you on this path, and the path turns to the right. So look at that piece of furniture. He is leading you on a path, and the path turns right. The path turns right. On the back, he has got his name on the back of his jersey. Jesus, he's wearing a jersey. This one's a mouthful. This one is a lot here, but we got it. On number 5, he leadeth me on the path of, and it's turning to the right, of righteousness for his name's sake. Let's go back and let's say all of these together. Let's start at the very beginning and let's say all of these together. See the pictures, but say the words. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Let's go back to the beginning there. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. You walk into the store and your soul leaps out of you. He restoreth my soul. Go to the next one. He leadeth me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. I'm going to stop right there on that because I think that's so much information. But this is how you do it, guys. This is how you memorize. You take what you want to memorize, you see it as a picture, and you place it around the room. I want to review with you what we've done over the last 50 minutes, okay? Because this is big. We've done a lot here. We've memorized the 10 Commandments. Commandment number 5, honor your father and your mother. We turned it into a picture. Where is the story of what is in 1 Samuel chapter 17? What is in 1 Samuel chapter 17? Put it in the chat box there. What is in 1 Samuel chapter 17? One mule, 17's a magazine, David and Goliath. What is in Ezra chapter 6? Remember, a gun is number 6. Ezra is sleeping. What is in Ezra chapter 6? The temple being built. What was in Genesis, blue jeans, chapter 22, tutus, Genesis chapter 22. What's in Genesis chapter 22? There you go, Abraham being tested. Guys, we've just memorized the locations of 5 Bibles. Guys, a lot of you are starting to ask about my Bible Memory Club. So give me one more minute. Give me one more minute of review, and then I'm going to start talking about my Bible Memory Club. It's $20 a month. And here's the deal. If you thought this was easy to memorize the 10 Commandments in 5 stories like that, and so the first couple of verses of Psalms chapter 23, if you thought me walking you through that was easy, that's what my monthly Bible Memory Club is. For $20 a month, I'm going to have you memorize the locations of 10 stories, 2 or 8 stories, 2 a week, and verses like this. You know, you'll memorize verses word for word. I'm going to do both types of Bible memory in the club. It's $20 a month. On Mondays, I will email you out what we're working on for the week. On Fridays, I will give you a quiz. During the week, we will have an accountability group where you can ask me questions, and we'll post in the group. I'll have a version of it on Facebook, but a version of it also off of Facebook for those of you who don't have Facebook. So we're going to have an accountability once a month, probably on a Saturday. We're going to gather and we're going to review everything that we learned for the month. And that's going to be in a live session like this. So it is really, really awesome for $20 a month. You'll get my pictures for all 66 books of the Bible. You will, and the link is in the YouTube description. I'll drop it in the chat box real quick here. Let's see. I'll drop it in the chat box and I'm going to put it on Facebook too for those of you who don't have it. So now it's in the chat box here, guys. It's going to be really, really good thing. I'll get to know all of you. I'll get to teach you a lot. But what you need is accountability, probably. And I'm going to give you all my pictures for the stories. Let me drop it on YouTube or Facebook for those of you who are on Facebook right now. Boom, right there. By the way, this is kind of a special for today. All right. This is kind of a special for today. So let me walk you through everything you get when you sign up for this today. Oh, by the way, look there on the page. Let's do 2 more. Let's do 2 more Bible memory. Look, everybody go to the page. Go to the page right now. There's 2 more Bible stories we can memorize on the page. I forgot about that. The memory guy forgot. Go to the page right now. Go to the page right now, and we're going to memorize 2 more. Scroll to the middle. Acts chapter 12. Peter freed from prison. So I got Peter Rabbit for Peter, and I got 12 for a dozen eggs, and an actor is holding the eggs. So Acts chapter 12, Peter freed from prison. Scroll down. By the way, okay, so yeah. Okay. So you just memorized David and Goliath. It's 1 Samuel chapter 17. This picture has it actually wrong on here. So, but the reason it is 1 Samuel chapter 16 is where David was introduced. David was introduced to us in chapter 16. So this one's kind of right because it's where David was introduced. but it's not the actual David and Goliath story. That is chapter 17 that we memorized together today. By the way, if you like these pictures that I have on the website, go ahead and go click the link right now and look at the pictures, these cartoons. I'm going to provide you with these. You're going to get to see these pictures. So on the call today, or on this training today, we just kind of imagined it in our brains. When you get this Bible Memory Club, you're actually going to get a PDF with all these pictures in it, printed out like that. So that's really good. But you're going to get a monthly group coaching call like this. You're actually going to get a mobile app, and I don't want to push that too hard right now, the mobile app, because it's about 6 weeks away. It's done, but it needs to be approved to put it in the app store. But that should take 4 to 5 weeks. You're going to get a mobile app where you can do all this on your phone too. I have a Bible memory course called The Road to Bible Memory. You're going to get that for free when you join this $20 a month program. And some of you may say you already have it, and I have thought of that. I've thought of a solution for you, so bear with me. Don't go crazy just yet. The Road to Bible Memory is a very, 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 very good course. It's a very simple, basic introduction to Bible memory. You're going to get that for free. If you bought it on its own, it's about $50. You're going to get access to how to memorize the Sermon on the Mount word for word. If you bought that on its own, it's about $50. It's a good course. You're going to get access to my $11.89 Bible memory course, which is my favorite Bible memory course of all time. It's where I teach you how to memorize what's in all 1,189 chapters of the Bible. Jared has memorized the first 500. A guy named Larry Dinkins completed it. He memorized what's in all 1,189 chapters. It is insane. I'm going to give you a structure, and by the end of the year, you'll have memorized the locations of 100 Bible stories and all the verses that are important to you. Again, on Monday, I will send you out the work for the week, and then on Friday, I'll give you a quiz. We'll do it together. It's going to be accountability, so don't stress. I'm going to be your accountability partner here, and we're going to have a live group like this once a month. The live session that we have once a month is going to be a little bit more interactive than this one was. This was more of a monologue. I was kind of teaching you here just because I just needed to give you the introduction. The rest of the trainings will be more of a dialogue. We'll actually be on a Zoom call where I can see your faces, and it'll be more of a dialogue where we can talk together. It wouldn't have worked today. Here's some bonuses. Forget that text phone number thing that's on there. That's a misprint. But for those of you who are saying, Ron, I already have your Bible memory courses. What do I do? Well, for you guys and everyone else, I threw in my brain health course. This is a $200 course. How to have a healthy brain. Talks about natural cures for ADD, stress, anxiety, the right brain foods, what to eat, what to avoid. It's a $200 course, and I wasn't going to throw that in. The only reason I threw it in is because I know there's people out there who says I already have these Bible memory courses, so this is for you. And guess what? All the other people just get to ride along with you, and they get to get it too. You're also going to get my images for all books, my images for numbers 1 to 1,000. Over 30 Bible stories turned into pictures. I told you about that PDF. Psalms chapter 1. I'm going to turn that into images for you. Look, guys, it's just so much. It's $20 a month. Click the link right there and join. Now let me get on to your questions. So we've gone an hour. I hope you join the Bible Memory Club. $20 a month. So join the Bible Memory Club. It's $20 a month. Let's see. Jason, you already have those. Good. Now you got. Yeah. A lot of people have those. If you already have the brain health too, which would be pretty rare. Most people don't have that. But if you already have the brain health, then I'll talk with you on a different bonus. But for those of you who have that, that's free. Ron, is there a way to do the Bible memory course if you're not able to make it? I don't. Okay, Arthur, this is the best deal. This is the best deal right here. $20 a month, monthly accountability call, Monday and Wednesdays. if you went and tried to buy all those courses individually, it's going to cost you $300 or $400. So if you subscribe to this for 6 months, it's, you know, it's not even, you're going down the wrong trail there. Let's see. Do the weekly assignments start this Monday? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'll start it on Monday. I'll start it on this Monday. Unless I get overwhelming response that says start the next month. By the way, Jared, it's going to be simple. It's going to be so simple. You're going to have to memorize like 2 Bible stories and 1 or 2 verses. I mean, it's nothing overwhelming. Guys, I'm going to keep this so simple for you. I'm going to keep this so incredibly simple. I don't want to overwhelm you. The last thing I want to do is overwhelm you. So it's going to be so simple. But here, think about this. 2 Bible stories a week, the location of them. At the end of the year, you've memorized 100 Bible stories. And let's say we just do 2 verses a week. At the end of the year, you've memorized 100 Bible verses. So it's going to be so simple to do because we're breaking it down by just here's how simple this is going to be. You're going to do 2 stories a week and maybe 2 verses a week. You've done more than that today. So, but when it starts compounding, by the end of the year, you will have memorized 100 Bible stories and 100 verses. Now, here's the deal. You're also going to have access to my 1189 Bible memory, my Sermon on the Mount memory, and my Road to Bible memory. So if you complete the monthly work for that week and you're done, don't think, oh, Ron, this was too easy, because you're going to have a lot of courses you can go through. So it's not going to be too difficult for anybody, but it's not going to be too simple for anybody either. You're going to go at your own pace. No. It's not a 1-year commitment. No, it's not a 1-year commitment. It's month to month. Sign up for 1 month. It's $20. And if you don't like it, cancel anytime. And no, it's not a year commitment. It is month to month. It's month to month. I wanted to memorize the entire Gospel of Matthew. How long would it take? Let's see. How many words in book of Matthew? How many words? There's 18,000 words in the book of Matthew. How long would that take to memorize? Depends on the person, depends on their skill level. I would say you could have that memorized in 6 months, word for word. When you get this $19 a month program, you're going to get access to my Sermon on the Mount memory program, which is Matthew chapter 5. And I will walk you through that part word for word. You could probably memorize the book of Matthew quicker than 6 months, but you could 100% have it done in 6 months, still living your life, working your job, spending times with your friends and family. You would need to turn the verses into pictures, and you would need to do it the way we did Psalms chapter 23, where you see the pictures around a room in your house. And I'll walk you through, in this accountability group, I'll walk you through how to do that. Okay, guys. So let's review here a little. Well, let me do it. Let me do a couple more. Here's one. I want you to see the storm. Look in the other room in your house. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want you to look at the other room in your house. Oh, wait. I got a better. Well, I'll tell you the picture I was going to see. You can do it on your own later. Matthew chapter 8 is Jesus calms the storm. So on a piece of furniture in that other room, see Jesus standing on a doormat with a snowman, and around him is a storm.
He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him.
Matthew chapter 8 is Jesus calms the storm. so you see that picture.
He was big and bent and gray.
So let's go back and let's review that. I got somebody calling me there. What an idiot, right? Guys, click the link in the description for the Bible Memory Club. The key to Bible memory is you've got to see it in pictures. Whatever you want to remember has to be a picture. So here's something that is so important. You're going to have to review. If you memorize something, you have to review it later. That's what's so great about our accountability group is you'll get emails from me and to help you hold you accountable and review. And so let's review a little bit right here. What story says you need what chapter is John chapter 3? What story does that tell? John chapter 3. Kyle is asking right now, would an hour a day be enough? The way I'm structuring this, 10 minutes a day would be enough. 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week. I mean, it's not that much. If you wanted to memorize, the reason it took us so long today, the reason it took us long to memorize the Bible stories in that is because I had to introduce you to the room concept, and we had to memorize the map of the room. In the future, you're going to have that built. You're going to have that built. So you just add the stuff onto it. So although it took us an hour today, it's not going to take you an hour. It's going to take you 10 minutes a day, for 2 or 3 days a week to memorize the verses you want. John chapter 3, you must be born again. There you go. Let's do one more here. Let's do Psalms chapter 1. This is one of my favorites, but I'm going to switch it to the NIV version because it's just easier for me to understand. Psalms chapter 1. I love this one. Psalms chapter 1. One who does not step with the wicked. So I would look at that piece of furniture, and you don't have to try to memorize this with me. I'm just kind of giving you an explanation. And I would see someone walking on this piece of furniture, and maybe they've got a number 1 on their back, or they're holding a pencil to represent number 1. Blessed is the one. And there are steps on that. There's footprints on that piece of furniture made by the wicked. Blessed is the one who does not step with the wicked. Blessed is the one who does not step with the wicked. I would see it on the furniture, but I would say it in my mind. I would say the words. And this is the keys, guys. You want to see the pictures, but say the words and see them around the room on pieces of furniture. Lazarus rising from the dead. Lazarus rising from the dead. What book of the Bible was that in? Type it in the chat box. Where was Lazarus rising from the dead? Lazarus rising from the dead. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you to the ones who have signed up so far. I see you there. So I appreciate that. You're gonna love this as we work through this together. It's $19 a month. It's a Bible Memory Club. I'm John chapter 11. Good job. What was the 8th commandment? What was commandment number 8? What was commandment number 8 on the 10 commandments? Don't steal. Don't steal. So, guys, here's the deal. I want you to understand a little bit what we did here today. It's just we turned into pictures what we want to remember. When you join my Bible Memory Club, you're going to get access to a private group, and we'll work through this together. And you may not like the verses I'm suggesting for the week. So you may say, Ron, I don't want to memorize Psalms chapter 1 or Psalms 23. I want to memorize Romans 8:28 or Romans 6:23. And I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Well, this is how I would do it. These are the pictures. But it says in Psalms chapter 1 that the person, and that's where we were just at, Psalms chapter 1. It says in Psalms chapter 1 that the person who meditates on scripture will prosper in whatever they do. Man, think about that for a second. The person who meditates on scripture will prosper in whatever they do. Let me say that again. The person who meditates on scripture will prosper in whatever they do. That's amazing, guys. I mean, that's what more self-help advice do you need right there than that? And I think it's for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is I think it just calms you down. Uh, Another reason is I think it gives you wisdom. Um, so there is value to meditating on scripture word for word, and that's what you will learn in my monthly program. I also think there's value in knowing what is in every chapter of the Bible, knowing what is in John chapter 3, John chapter 9. And it's not a huge deal because you can look it up. But I was talking with Larry Dinkins and Jared, two guys who have memorized half the Bible and the entire Bible. They know what's in every single chapter because they went through my 1189 Bible memory program. And these guys, especially, and Larry, I don't want to put words in Jared's mouth, but Larry told me, he was a pastor. He said, I already knew the outline of the Bible really, but he said it really gave me a broader over, I was like, oh yeah, now I can see how this goes with this and this ties with this. It really deepens your understanding of the Bible when you know the chronological order of the Bible. And that's kind of what memorizing the locations of stories does. It gives you a chronological location of the Bible. So let's talk about Psalms 23, the 23rd Psalms. The 23rd Psalms. Let's go back to that and we're going to do the King James Version. Let's go back to that. Look at piece of furniture number 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Go look at the next piece of furniture. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. On that piece of furniture, you saw green pasture. On the next piece of furniture, still waters. He leadeth me beside the still waters. The next piece of furniture, he restoreth my soul. The next piece of furniture, he leadeth me in paths of righteousness. And the way you got to get this in your mind, to where it just flows out is you just say it to yourself over and over again. But you say it to yourself as you're looking at the furniture. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And you say the words while looking at the pictures in your mind. Let's see if I have any. I think the link for me is posted on YouTube, and the Facebook might be. Oh, okay. Yeah, Morgan was answering some technical questions there, so she's a smart lady. Guys, I wanted to give you some value today. And if you enjoyed it, and if it's worth $20 a month to gather like this, and for me to email you on a Monday and a Friday and have an accountability group and do this once a month with me, if that is valuable to you, and the next month there'll be different stories. And then this is what you do this month for this. Well, by the way, this was a free training. So when we start on Monday, we're going to be looking at different Bible stories and different verses. We're not going to be doing the 23rd Psalms or Psalms chapter 1. We're going to pick something totally different. But in theory, here's what you would do. You would review what we did on this group call here throughout the month. You would review the location of the Bible stories. You would review those verses. You would review the 10 Commandments. Because if you don't review, it's not going to stay in your mind. So you have to always be constantly reviewing to make it into your long-term memory. And I guess I've explained it pretty adequately here. I'll tell you this, memorizing Proverbs, the first 7 chapters of Proverbs for me 33 years ago was very meaningful to me, and it still is. I want to help you memorize what's important to you. And it's not so you can play Bible trivia and beat everybody at Bible trivia, or so whenever you die, you get extra rewards in heaven or whatever. I don't think none of that's going to happen. But I do think that if you know Bible verses and you're going through times of stress and times of trouble, you can close your eyes and you can say those verses. Uh, the 23rd Psalms is one of them, and it will calm you down. Proverbs, memorizing that will give you wisdom. I've seen courses, business courses that are the book of Proverbs teaching that for business wisdom, but they're not teaching in religious principles. They're just keeping it business wisdoms because there's so much wisdom there in the Bible. Will we be able to do that in the app? Yeah, the app is going to help you. Well, the app doesn't really have a spaced repetition mechanism to it, but you will be able to go in and review stuff absolutely on your own. Spaced repetition is where you review something today, and then in a specific time interval, maybe tomorrow, you're presented the information again. Here is the thing about reviewing that I'll also say. If you're trying to learn anything, you need to not look at the information. So if you were trying to memorize the 23rd Psalms and say it to yourself later today, don't just read it again. Close your eyes and try to say it. That's the best way to review. That's called an active review. You're forcing your mind to say it and you're forcing your mind to find it. That does two things. The first thing it does is you're not able to trick yourself. If you're reading it again, you're able to trick yourself that you actually know the information. So don't read it. Say it to yourself with your eyes closed or whatever. But the second thing that it does, other than you're not able to trick yourself, is it reinforces it. It makes the memory stronger because you're actually having to think about it. So when you review, here's the very important thing about review. Don't read the information again. Always look away and say the information and then look back and see if you're right. This is why flashcards work so well. You see part of the answer, you say the rest, and then you flip it over. In this Bible Memory Club, this $20 a month club, you're going to get something that I refer to as audio flashcards. Here's what an audio flashcard is. You're going to hear my voice on the audio flashcard saying, Ezra chapter 6, what's there? Then there will be a pause on the audio. And then in that pause, when you're listening to it, you'll say, the temple's being built. And then I will say, the temple's being built. That follows the principle of an active review. I'm giving you part of the information. You got to say the other part of the information. And it's forcing your brain to not. If I just said Ezra chapter 6, the temple being constructed, that's not an active review because I'm just giving you the information. You're just hearing it again. An active review is an actual test. Why don't you let us create your own pictures? You can create your own pictures, Chuck. I don't know where you live. I don't know anything. You can create your own pictures. I give you my pictures, and if you don't like my pictures, you make your own, right? That's fair enough. But I'm giving you my pictures to get you started, to jumpstart you. I memorized the 23rd Psalms when I was 12. That's great. It's and it's one that a lot of us already knew, but I just thought it was a good one to do because it's so famous and popular. Somebody says they don't want to subscribe because I talked about the Bible. Well, in a Bible memory video, that's pretty hard for you not to do. Guys, I'm going to share with you this. And I do get some, I'm not a Bible teacher. I'm not a theologian. I'm not an evangelist. And I do get pushback sometimes from people who will say stuff like this. Ron, I don't want to subscribe to your channel because now you're talking about the Bible. Fair enough. And that's fine. But what I teach is memory principles, and people can apply it to anything that they want. You could use this same principle that I just taught you to give a speech without notes. I'll tell you this, and I'm emotional today, and I'm probably a little more scattered in my brain than I normally would be as I look at my mom's driver's license today. Um, today's August the 10th, and 2 years ago exactly to this day, I found her on the floor over there. And normally I wouldn't have this with me when doing a webinar, but I thought it was appropriate because this would have been an important thing for her today to for me to do. When I gave my mom's eulogy 2 years ago, I gave my mom's eulogy using this system that I just shared with you. I took the story about how she loved to collect. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. My mom loved Cabbage Patch dolls. This is one of her dolls from 30 years ago. This is Ron Lloyd. And I keep it setting out right there just to remind me about my mom. So when I gave her eulogy, I had a doll sitting over there on that first piece of furniture in my mind. And then I told some stories about her cats. And then I told some stories about her when we went on vacation. And then at her funeral, when I got up in front of the group, I gave my mom's eulogy using the system that I just shared with you today, moving from piece of furniture to piece of furniture to piece of furniture. So the memory system that I teach can be applied to anything. It could be applied to any faith. It could be applied to anything. I am teaching it Bible memory right now because it is an overwhelming request of my customers. And there are some customers who don't have an interest in it. And for those of you, I say, don't apply it to Bible memory then. Apply it to what makes sense to you. You shouldn't join my monthly Bible club. Don't do that. You're going to be upset all the time. Don't, but you can still watch the other videos and get so much value. Yeah, thank you, Morgan. I don't feel like I was taught as effectively today as I normally would have. I didn't realize it was August the 10th when I scheduled this thing. By the way, my picture three is M. 3 is M. I told you that. I've been doing memory for 33 years. So this is mom. This is my favorite number, 33. Let's see. I love your techniques. It's one of the most important skills kids need to learn this. Yes, they do. Guys, let's move on from, well, not move on from Bible memory, but you just mentioned students. A student could memorize their schoolwork. They want to memorize the Bill of Rights. Have a speaker over there. Freedom of speech. Arm wrestling on number 2, the right to bear arms. On number 3, soldiers. Have soldiers on number 3, because the Third Amendment says you don't have to quarter soldiers in your house in a time of war. Number 4, have a spotlight on number 4. And you got a spotlight over there. Your Fourth Amendment is you are protected from search and seizure, illegal searches. Spotlight is a search. So your students could use this to memorize the Bill of Rights. You could use this to give a speech, a eulogy. So the principles that I teach you, I'm applying to Bible memory right now because it's such requested by so many of my customers. But these skills can be used for anything. My daughter listened, and she's dyslexic. She loves this. This will help her with her reading. So I'm glad to hear it. I'll be using these principles in the Black Belt course to remember your flight maps. Yeah, man, you could use this to help you through flight school. I actually did some personal one-on-one coaching with a guys. And by the way, and y'all don't feel like we're almost to the conclusion here. We're going to go about 4 or 5 more minutes, and then I have to go pick up my car. It got towed because I was in a car accident yesterday. It was pretty severe. This is another reason I'm a little off today. I'll tell you also. I was in a very violent car accident about 36 hours ago. No, 30 hours ago. my Jeep went airborne. It went on its side. It skidded across the road. The airbag popped out. I had to crawl out the top of my Jeep. Nobody was hurt, not even me. I got some bruises right here, but I'm going to be fine. But wow, what a benefit to be able to get out of the Jeep, out of that car wreck, and then say some verses to calm yourself down, some Bible memory verses. Yeah, I'm glad I'm okay too. But now I got to go get my Jeep. I have to have it towed somewhere. I love your techniques. It's one of the most important skill sets you can have. Kids need to learn this. Guys, if you got any value from what we did today, if you could say the 10 commandments, if you could say these 5 locations, these five Bible verses, and the first part of Psalms chapter 23, that's what the Bible Memory Club is. The link is in YouTube. The link is in the link to subscribe is in the description of the YouTube video. Oh, I'll drop it in the comments here one more time on YouTube. There you go. I know I'm going to say this, and I will say this. I know a lot of y'all probably want more word for word Bible memory than you do locations. I get that. So why did I focus half the time on locations of stories and 30% of the time on Psalms 23 word for word? Because the other is easier. The other is more simple. And I wanted to teach you in an easy, simple way how to start thinking in pictures with Bible memory before I took you to more advanced levels. So that's why. But I hope I gave you enough information that now you could kind of start doing this on your own. You could kind of start figuring this out. Wow. So glad you're okay. Thank you so much for today. Yeah, I'm glad I'm okay too. Yeah, I am safe. So I realize a lot of you want to do word for word Bible memory. And it's the same way. We did a little bit of it today. The concepts stay the same. Read the chapter through once, read it through once, create pictures, see the pictures, and then say the verses. Say the words. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'll do a really quick review here. Let's say Psalms chapter 23 together. Look over there in the other room. You see a shepherd boy and he's smiling. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. On the next one, you see a green pasture and you're laying down. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. On the next one, you're leading beside still waters. He leadeth me beside the still waters. The next one, you're walking into a store and your soul leaps out. He restoreth my soul. The next one, yea, though I walk through that's not the next one. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Let's say it all together real quick. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me on the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Again, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me on the path of righteousness for his name's sake. One more time. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me on the path of righteousness for his name's sake. And the next one is kind of popular. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. You probably already know that one without looking at it. So, guys, I hope you got some value today. I hope you see where this can go. I look forward to getting to know you. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to doing a group call. Click the link, join my Bible Memory Club. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll go here and if I haven't seen any questions, and if I'm not, I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah, you're right, Jared. Jared, you're absolutely right. You know, Jared's the guy who memorized the first 500 chapters, but he did that with accountability. And then probably when our accountability group stopped, he probably stopped. And I understand accountability is the thing. I've seen you talk about the letter technique. Yeah, Chuck, there is value in the letter technique. We didn't have time to get to that today. Thank you, Jared. I've got everything in your collection and extra lessons. Thank you, Mark. I'm glad to see you in the group. I look forward to getting to know you. Can you use the same room of furniture over and over? You can use. I would not. No, I would not. Now, here's the thing: can you use the same piece of the same room of furniture over? And could you memorize the Bill of Rights to the Constitution and then use this to memorize Psalms chapter 3? Yes, you could, because they're so different. But Bible verses are so similar, you're going to need to use different pieces of furniture. Now you may say, well, Ron, I can't do that. I don't have 1,000 pieces of furniture. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how to use your friend's house, your cousin's house. This is my mom's house. I use her house. My house is actually out near Decatur, so which is 45 minutes from here for those of you who don't live in Texas. So I'm going to teach you how to use other people's houses to memorize. But you should not use the same pieces of furniture over for Bible memory. It will get too confusing. For the Constitution, 4,543 words, I used about 300 pieces of furniture, and I did not reuse any. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. And I'm speaking to you, Ty Files. Thank you, Ron. You did a great job. Yeah, I do think it was important for me to teach today. I do think it was significant. So glad you're having this Bible Memory Club. Me too. Thank you. Can we have your contacts so we can communicate with you for your assistance? Gideon, I don't give out like my personal cell phone or that kind of thing, but when you're in the Bible Memory Club, you are going to be able to communicate with me in our group chat, but it would just be too overwhelming to give out my cell phone number or something like that. But you're gonna be able to contact with me. You're gonna have my email, whatever. I reply to those. Thank you very much, guys. One last time, I will drop the link here. I look forward to seeing you. I will do this again sometime on a day that's maybe not so emotional for me, because as I sit here, I think of ways I could have done this a little bit better. And maybe if I could have redone today, if this is what I would have done. If I could have redone today, I might have spent a little bit more time on word for word. Like we just memorized Psalms 23 word for word. If I could have redone this today, I would have spent a little bit more time on word for word memory, simply because I think that's what most people want. So to those who want that, I will say, I hope you got some value out of the Psalms chapter 23. And it's the same concept, just extrapolate it over more pieces of furniture, and review and just run it over and over and over in your mind. When I did the Constitution, I would just run it over and over in my mind until I had it perfect. Yeah. So how to memorize coding, that's a different webinar, isn't it? This was the Bible memory webinar. How about the number of verses per book? Yeah, I did have a student do that. I had a student do that. She memorized how many verses, or she didn't memorize how many verses are in every book. She memorized how many chapters are in every book. That's a different webinar, but it's very easily done. Let's say there are 21 chapters in a book. You see a deck of cards for 21, and you attach that to something that reminds you of the book. There aren't 21 chapters in Luke, and if they are, it's a fluke. I'm just pulling this out of the air. But if you saw Luke Skywalker playing blackjack, you could remember the book of Luke has 21 chapters. But you would have to do something like that. Create a picture for the book, create a picture for our number.
He was big and bad and great.
All right, guys, I got to go. Please join, or not please join. Please. I don't need you to join. If you want to join the Bible memory course, I'd love to have you there, and I will help you. But if you don't, that's okay. I'll see you another time. I'm so grateful and happy to have all of you here. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you on the next one.